read this one.
Okay, a study comparing infant care revealed that the amount of stimulation babies receive affect their sleep. At 6 months of age, the babies in the study with a less stimulating daytime routine slept an average of 2 hours more per day than those with a more stimulating routine. Since sleep plays a very important role in a child's development, parents would be wise to reduce the amount of stimulation their babies receive. So, which one of the following statements, if true, most seriously weakens the argument? Babies' muscular coordination is unaffected by the amount of stimulation they receive. I knew that was wrong because it's saying they didn't really talk about muscle coordination. They're talking more about their sleep.
And what was our conclusion?
Parents would be wise to reduce the amount of stimulation their babies receive.
Yep. And what was our reasoning for it?
Because the babies in the study with a less stimulating daytime routine slept an average of 2 hours more per day.
Yep. And then since sleep is important, parents should reduce the amount of stimulation their babies receive. So did you make a prediction here before you went to the answer choices of what would weaken this argument?
No.
So what might be a reason why parents shouldn't reduce the amount of stimulation their babies receive?
Because they won't sleep at night.
Well, no, we're saying that, okay, our conclusion is that they should reduce the amount of stimulation, right? Because what do they think happens when you reduce the stimulation?
So when they reduce the stimulation, they sleep more.
They sleep more, right? And so like that sounds all good, right? We're like, oh yeah, like I want my baby to sleep more. But what might be a reason why you don't want to actually reduce the amount of stimulation?
Because they don't get the exercise that they need, or
yeah, there might be something else that is like equally beneficial that comes from this stimulation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe it has to be a balance. Like yeah, these are sleeping more, but maybe they're less developed in other areas.
Okay.
So this would be like so by weakening it, we're promoting an alternative explanation here. We're looking for one potentially.
Okay.
All right. So your baby's muscular coordination. Yes, you're right about crossing off A. All right. So go ahead and go through the other ones.
Babies with less stimulating routines usually get extra sleep during the day. That's actually supporting the argument because they're saying that the less stimulating routines, they sleep 2 hours more. So that would be, okay. So C, studies show no correlation between stimulation and amount of sleep for children 3 years of older, age of older. They didn't even talk about kids that old.
Yeah, we don't care. We're trying to say that we're talking about babies.
Yeah. The babies who had a less stimulating routine gained weight at an average rate. Well, they're not talking about weight.
Well, right, we're not talking about weight, but could this be good? And it's like, okay, but we're still saying that less stimulating is average. Like that's definitely not weakening it. Like what if this said that the babies who had a less stimulating routine were extremely underweight?
That would probably weaken it.
Yep, excellent. But that's not what it says, so it's wrong.
Right. So that's why I guessed at E, because E is the correct answer. The stimulation that babies receive helps them to develop intellectually.
So why does this weaken it?
The stimulation that babies receive help them to develop, because it's saying that the more stimulation they get, the more they develop intellectually.
Yeah, it's giving us that alternative explanation where it's like, hey, they might not be sleeping as much, but is this developing intellectually important too? So it at least weakens it because it's like, hey, we need to pay it. Like, I'm not so sure about that. I want my baby to develop intellectually.
Right. And then it says sleep plays a very important role in a child's development. So, yep. Okay. I'm glad I guessed it.
And I love that you guessed it right too by knowing the other ones were wrong.